Good morning, everybody. Hello. Hey, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. You are in our Stitchuation room. This is a Monday through Friday virtual stitching retreat where you hang out with me in my sewing room, and I hope I can inspire you to put something under the needle. Good morning, Frito. You trying to get over here? Well, can you get through? Frito wants her treats. Oh, she about got hung up on a cord. That's not good. All right. Well, hi, Ann from Helotus. Hello, neighbor. What are you doing, Frito? Do you want your treat? You want your Dave biscuit? Dave hadn't been around a little bit. There we go. Oh, Rhett says we got sourdough in the kitchen. That's wonderful. You guys, there's Dave. We hashtag Frito visit. We've been missing you, Dave. We got one left at ease. You can have that. There you go, sweet girl. Hanging out under the sewing machine like a lady. Good thing. Yes, you say good morning to everybody. All right, Dave is here. I see. Okay. We've been missing you. Were you on vacation? Awesome. Really good to see everybody here. Appreciate you guys hanging with me for the last 2 days while I decluttered my bat cave. That's where I store all my batting. But that was very, very productive. Where's my coffee? I did not get rid of a whole lot. But one thing that served to do was to go through and really look at what I have and, put my hands on it. Am I going to use it in the future? Is it useful? That kind of thing. And it was great. So I did create a little bit more space in there. Again, it wasn't where stuff had to go somewhere else to live. It all lived in there. It just needed a little refresh. And it took a total of 2 hours talking through it. So I probably could have done it in an hour if I would have just put my mind to it without you guys. But if I would have cleaned my room, my little storage area without y'all, oh, I'd hear it. Oh, Barbara said she did her closet too. Thanks for the push. You are welcome. You guys, don't let an enormous pile overwhelm you, okay? Your goal is progress, and all progress is better. And some of us have physical limitations. And even if you can just sit on a chair and go through a stack, set a timer for 15 minutes, set your watch 15 or 20 minutes. That's all you've got to do. And just do it, right? Just sit down and just go through. So I know sometimes that is hard. And we're all thinking of decluttering in January. That seems to be the thing. Back in the day, it was white sales. That's when we all replaced all our linens for the year, right? So awesome. Penny says, I encouraged her to do her pantry. Good for you. Candace, you're back. Were you and Dave on vacation together? We missed you. Your absence was noticed, my friend. Glad to see you back, Candace Park. We're glad you're here. So, gosh, it feels like everybody's... she's like, I'm here. Everybody, the gang's all here. Things are back to, don't I love my stripology rulers? Okay, yes. Yesterday, my friend Claudia came over. She's usually in here. And I'm looking at the chat on my laptop, you guys. I need to move the laptop a little closer to the camera so I'm not constantly, let me move the light out of the way. I got a new gizmo to hook up the camera to the laptop, which should prevent the blackouts that we had on the first day of it just had a little short in it. Every time the cord moved, the camera went, and I said, oh my, I can't have that. So I ordered a new one. Yay, you guys are all here. Everybody's so happy. So, well, Linda, I'm glad you caught me on a live too. Yeah. I'm real. Oh, girl, you don't know how real my life is. This is crazy. But yesterday, Claudia came over. She is a whiz at making Bianni bags, and I am in the process of creating and making the Bianni Computer Carrier 2.0. And her help was invaluable on figuring out all the labels and working through the pieces, and come to find out I hadn't stitched as many as I thought I had. And I had to put this chunk of fabric that had already been cut into back on the long arm and get it, get the design put in it again and then cut that out. So we got a lot done. She was here from about 10 until 3. And I put pictures of us on Facebook but I want to show y'all those pictures. Let's see. Here you go. There's Claudia and I hanging out in the computer room. She's reading the pattern to figure out what I'm doing. And I was getting ready. There she is again at the cutting table. And I was getting ready to cut out my bias binding, and she really helped with that. I had seen a video on how Annie says to create your bias binding, which is wonderful, but I'd forgotten about it. And then I had it all folded up right, and I was getting ready to do my 2.5-inch strip. And she's like, you're going to use your stripology ruler, right? Because I had gotten a new stripology ruler last Christmas and last Black Friday. And I said, oh, yeah, let me take that out of the package. Oh, my goodness, you guys. How nice. It's a lot like that. Who makes that? Is it June Taylor makes a strip thing? But the difficulty with that one is it kind of slides, and it has everything is marked the same on the bottom. But on the stripology ruler, it has that Creative Grids grippy on the back of it, so it doesn't go anywhere. And I just had to cut on the squares. So every 2.5 is marked with a square. And it's so easy. Just choom, choom, choom. Now the pattern says 2.25, but she advised me 2.5. So anyway, very, very cool. I will continue to work on that bag during the day, and I'll let you guys see it when it's done. But right now it's a big old pile, but I will show you that tomorrow. I got hung up last night on the straps, how to affix the straps and create those in the buckles and all of that stuff, the D-ring. And it's so nice to have a stitchy friend who knows what they're doing, right? So I text her and I said, send me pictures of yours so I can figure this out. So, okay. All right. There was a lot of chat going on about Joann's. I put a post yesterday in our Facebook group. We have a private Facebook group of, so Joann's has filed bankruptcy again, second time in 2 years. And I said, oh, things are about to get very inexpensive. So I guess 2 years ago when they filed bankruptcy, they were supposed to shut down stores that don't show a profit, and also move out of those buildings that were giant leases, right? Huge, crazy, expensive leases. And they didn't do that at any of their 800 stores. And so they filed bankruptcy again yesterday morning. That was the article that I put on there. And so they're probably going to get bought out by some big holding company. I don't know how any of that works. No clue. Don't really care. But keep an eye out for super, super good sales from your local Joann's. Run in there. I would go in there early and get what you can. I tried to get 2 of the Omni Grid. So Claudia showed up over here yesterday. She had that Omni Grid. It's like a 12 by 18-ish. It's a cutting mat on one side, an ironing pad on the other, and it folds and it has a handle. Super cheap, right? And before I could I added them to my cart, and before I could hit send, they disappeared from my cart. So everybody is on that. So be sure to do that. Donna says they reorganized the first time. Well, I don't know what the stipulations were in the bankruptcy filings. I don't want to get into any of that because I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to not know what I'm talking about. Speaking of which, I had said the other day that I use round shank needles in my PR 1055, and you guys straightened me out quickly. No, uses the same needles that I use in the single. I swear they were round. To be honest with you, I've never changed them. I've broken 1 or 2, and I just grab whatever's in there and put them up there. I swear they were round. Apparently not. They are flat-sided, just like the regular one. So I wanted to get that straight. Man, I got emails. You're wrong. Straight up. Boom. Inaccurate. You need to know what you're talking about if you're going to be on YouTube. Okay. I never make mistakes. How about you? Okay. I got to show you guys too. Today, my only child, my son, the pastor up in Colorado Springs, is 40. How did that happen? how can I'm only 38. I've always said I'm 38. How can I have a 40-year-old child? So I've gotten past where I had him when I was 12, that kind of thing. So yeah, my son is 40, but I got to tell you guys, yesterday they celebrated his birthday as a family yesterday. And I have to show y'all, he texted me. I thought that I downloaded the picture. Apparently I didn't. Let me get it out of my text messages with him. And as you know, my granddaughter, Callie, you may not know, I have an 11-year-old granddaughter, Callie. She's following in my footsteps and loves to embroider. She loves to machine embroider and quilt and sew and all of that. So last year I gave her Candace, I know our kids get old and that means we're old, but I refuse to make that brain connection. When he turned 35, I had a little bit of a meltdown. I'm getting used to it. Okay. Because 40, I'm doing all right. Anyway, last year I gave her a Brother NQ3550W, which is a combo embroidery and sewing machine, 6x10 wireless, fantastic little travel machine. And I gave her this machine last year. So he texted me yesterday. He said, look what Callie gave me. It's a Designs by Juju embroidered card. Look at that. And she loves dogs. So it says Paw T. Isn't that adorable? She did all the color changes herself. She made the card. She did just everything all by herself. I said, oh, good for her. And he said, yep, she downloaded the design from Designs by Juju and did everything all on her own with no help. I was very impressed. Well, I am impressed too. That girl is on her way. So when I get too old to run Power Tools with Thread on YouTube, Callie will be coming in, taking over. So I'm very proud of her. So she's not on here. They're in a different time zone. So it's a little early for her. But she is learning quick. I'm very proud. And a lot of you wanted me to give all my extra stuff to Callie out of my storeroom. Y'all, she doesn't have the space. She does not have the space at all. So, but I was telling Claudia yesterday, it's really nice that she, where her little desk area, she uses as a dresser, and it was always filled with little child, little girl, stuffed animals and toys and all this stuff. Well, when I gave her that machine, all that stuff went to the side. She's got a machine on there and a thread, and she's ready to go. So, yeah. And so she is growing up. My little sweet pea is growing up very happy. Okay, so today I wanted to talk to you guys. Today is Embroidery Thursday. If you're new here, put in the chat that you're new. And yeah, I know Dad needs to get her a she shed. I know. I told him that. He's like, Mom, I'm not doing that right now. Okay, so if you're new, pop in the chat and tell me that you're new. We have got a Sunshine Committee wandering around, and they will open their big arms and give you a virtual hug. Thank you for joining us. Please give the video a thumbs up. If you're sitting on your couch doing nothing, grab the remote and hit the channel up button. That is a thumbs up. I appreciate that very much. So on Thursdays, we do embroidery. If you want to see beginning embroidery videos, project how-tos, all of that, y'all, I have over 1,000 videos on YouTube, and my older videos are all pre-recorded. So there's no chit chat in them or whatever. And you can see beginner embroidery stuff. So I know she needs her own space. It will come, I'm sure. So, okay. So today what I want to do is talk to you about embellishing quilt blocks with machine embroidery. We'll get quilt blocks that will have a design or something in it that they want you to hand stitch or add a button in today's case. Well, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I know it would take me 30 seconds actually closer to 2 minutes to stitch on a button. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 buttons that are supposed to go on this particular block. I don't want to do that. That's not fun to me. First, I got to buy the buttons. Have you priced, specialty buttons for these quilts? Are crazy. It's insane. So the block I'm talking about today is the candles in Holly block. Okay. Oh, Frito, Scotty Dog says there's treats in the kitchen. Okay. So this is the candle block, candle and holly block, part of the Vintage Christmas for Lori Holt. This is a sew along, and I have a post on my blog for all the 2025 sew alongs that I'm doing. You can go to powertoolswiththread.com and look for the blog post of 2025 sew alongs, where I post links to the patterns and the fabric and everything. If you want to follow along, it is January. You've got time. So let's do that. All right. So this particular block is supposed to have, we are in the first month, and this is the 4th block of the first month, and I went too far already. This block wants you to stitch on these little buttons. They don't have it on. This is the block before the buttons went on in this colorway, but you can see up here, see the little buttons? There's 3 red right there, 2 red right there, and 3 red right there. Okay. Do I have a link for the Oregon 9014 embroidery needles? ML Weber, they are in my Amazon store. So if you go, yes, if you go below the video, there's a description box. It says more ... Okay. And mine came in and I switched them out. It says more ... Matter of fact, I'm going to switch it out now because what's in there is a schmetz. And this is what I got in the mail yesterday. Okay. Well, Terry says no buttons until quilted. So, right. Because the thought is that you don't want your quilting machine to run over a button. That's why you don't put on the buttons until quilted. However, if you embroider the buttons, it's no different than it's just embroidery. And if you stitch over it, it's no big deal. My point is not to stitch over it, but the point of not putting on buttons until after it's quilted is so that your long armor doesn't have to navigate buttons, which I get. That's, yeah, right. But that's not how I roll. So that's right. Kathleen says, wait until it's quilted. Well, we think a little different here at Power Tools with Thread. Yeah, we think a little different. So anyway, if you go, it says more ... under the video, tap that, opens up all the links. And then down in the bottom, it says around my sewing room. And in the around my sewing room, there is a link to my Amazon store, and you will find them in my embroidery favorites. I have my quilting favorites and my embroidery favorites. All right. So let's put this Oregon 9014 needle in. Now, the reason I choose Oregon needles is because Baby Lock and Brother machines are timed with Oregon needles at the factory. All right. So let's talk about embroidery on quilt blocks. Okay. Now, this is just quilting cotton. That's all it is. Y'all, there were so many pieces in this block. Oh my goodness. So many pieces in this block. So it's very flimsy and delicate. All right. We don't want, and I want you to, okay. So let's think about machine embroidery. If it was doing the blanket stitch, when if you're going to applique a piece down using snapplique, that stitch is down, over, like this. Okay. So it goes, I'm going down and then I go over, back, forward, over, back. So there's a lot of horizontal and vertical movement without a lot of dense stitching. And those movements are in a line. Okay. They're in a line. Now, when you're going to be stitching something like this, whether it's a nose or a pair of eyes, or it's going to be little buttons, you know, little holly berries. I'm not using buttons, obviously. You're going to use little holly berries. Those are a satin stitch, okay? And the construction of a satin stitch is it will do an outline, and then it will do some zigzagging underneath to create a foundation to support those satin stitches. And it will go back and forth this way and this way. Now it's got a foundation, and then it's going to start going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it's going to do this really large zigzag. And as that zigzag occurs, that fabric goes because of the pull. Okay. So you've got to understand how embroidery stitches function, how they're created, and what happens with them. In order to prevent the pull, you need to use a good foundation. So if you were using a foundation like no-show mesh, like this is very flimsy. This is a cutaway. It's very flimsy. And this is what I put behind those blocks that are snap-pliqued, because it really doesn't change the hand of the block a whole lot. And you can just cut this away from around the embroidery and it's good to go. So if you have, that's right, Bernadette, if you have very dense stitches, you're going to need something else under there in order to prevent all the puckering. Hold on. I need a swig. Y'all subscribe. We're on our way to 80,000 subscribers. And when we hit that, courtesy of the benefactor of my channel, Lady M, I am giving away a brand new Sew Tights rotary mat. Best in the industry, you guys. If you want this for your birthday, I have a coupon down below for 15% off of Sew Tights and the 6.5-inch ruler with magnets in it. This thing is phenomenal. Love it. So thank you, Lady M, for that. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys that. So subscribe. All right. Be sure to subscribe. Where did I find the long stabilizer box? Okay, Candace, all these stabilizer boxes are from Designs in Machine Embroidery or Dime. I have a link to them below. You can always get everything I'm showing you in the links below. This is from Designs in Machine Embroidery. I love this. It's called a stable cut box. I've got the big long one and I have the 12-incher. Okay. So what did I do? Oh, here it is. So it's hard to know sometimes which stabilizer to use for which projects. And you can use an embroiderer's compass if you want to do that. Okay. I like the box just because it keeps it from rolling around, and they stack real nice when they store. So the embroiderer's compass, okay. This is also from Designs in Machine Embroidery, okay. And it will tell you if you're going to be stitching on let's find quilting cotton. Let's find that. Glasses. Where are my glasses? I don't have any over here. Okay. Hold on. Let me go get my glasses. Y'all didn't even tell me I didn't have. Hello, Frito. Let me see here. I have another. There's another. Let's see. There's another quilt kit I have that has a little busy bee on it. And that bee is just going zzz, and it has a little buzzy trail. Embroidery, you guys. I'm not doing that by hand. All right. So let's see here. Terry cloth, velvet, satin poly, freestanding lace, moisture wicking, technical fabric, metallic, thread embroidery. That's not on that side. Vinyl, sheer fabric, transparent, knits, lightweight t-shirts, onesies. Let's see here. Where is it? Okay. Broadcloth, quilting cotton. Let's turn. So here's the broadcloth and quilting cotton right here. I'm going to turn the arrow. So it says broadcloth and quilting cotton. The last one I found, of course. Again, Designs on Machine Embroidery. What book am I using, Sherry? This book is Vintage Christmas by Lori Holt. It's this one right here, Vintage Christmas. Okay. And we're embroidering the holly berries on the quilt block because I don't want to sew on buttons at all. So, okay, broadcloth quilting cotton, that's the fabric, set fabric at arrow. All right, stabilizer, medium firm tearaway, it says. Medium firm tearaway. All right, so I could use a tearaway, medium firm. And then it says, here's your needle. So I need to use extra slim ballpoint 7511 universal or a sharp point 8012 right in here. And then down here it says optional. Iron fuse sew soft or fusible no-show mesh to reverse side for added body. Use firm tearaway beneath. So the key word there is firm. Now, why firm? Again, we talked about how that heavy, dense zigzag stitch, that satin stitch is what you're going to be creating, is going to pull in and pucker those fibers. And we don't want that on our candles at all. So think about if, like I used to play golf, okay? All the golf shirts that have got the logos on them, whether it's the little, whether it's TPC, maybe it's the little Izod, maybe it's the, I don't know, whatever golf logo is on a golf shirt. What's behind there? I have been known to go up to people with beautiful embroidery on their shirts and go, let me see the back of that. You need to use a heavy thing down on the back. Now, for clothing, because clothing is going to be washed over and over and over, on a knit, I would use a cutaway, which is usually what industry uses. If you open up and look from the back of a shirt, that's a knit shirt, like a golf or polo shirt or something like that. What's behind there is a little shriveled up piece of cutaway stabilizer that can handle being washed. And that is to prevent the stitching. No SF-101. I would not do that. I have done it, Linda. Yes. Could I iron SF-101 on the back of the quilt square? You can. That's going to change the hand of your quilt, of the square. So it's not that you can't. It's that there's probably a better, but I've been known to do that. Okay. So what I'm going to use on the back of this is not tearaway, because what if this quilt gets washed? All right. So what I'm going to use is cutaway. And this is a pretty heavy cutaway. This is not the stuff you find behind hockey jerseys. You know, those heavy embroidered hockey jerseys. Okay. That stuff, that's, you could wallpaper your room with that stuff. Okay. You guys have just got to think, what kind of stabilizer, go find a commercially made garment and see what's behind it. All right. So I've got this cutaway that I'm going to use. And when I get finished, I'm going to trim the embroidery very close. I could use a tearaway, but the tearaway will go away eventually. So either one really, but you need a cutaway you need something firm. That's the key word, is firm. I have some tearaway. I could use it. In this case, I'd rather overstabilize than understabilize. Because I don't want to mess up my block, because I really don't want to stitch that block again. That thing, it was hard. It took a while. You can find that compass in the links below. ... Go to more. Okay, let me show you guys too where you can find things on, if you are looking for anything for machine embroidery, I'm going to show you where you can find all the stuff that I am talking about. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you guys. These are things that I use and love and recommend. All right, so I have a blog, powertoolswiththread.com. So I'm Power Tools with Thread on YouTube, and then powertoolswiththread.com. Here, this is my blog, okay? And right up here, so this is the main menu, or if you're on a phone or a tablet, it'll have the 4 little lines, and you tap that and you'll get the menus. So I have shop PTWT links right here. All right. And you can scroll down, or you can click on the dime banner over on this side, but I have designs and machine embroidery right here. And when you click this, it will jump you to their website. And this is where you can find all of the things that I'm talking to you about. Okay. So, but what you're doing with that didn't, oh, it didn't jump to the website. What you're doing with that, though, is you're helping out my YouTube channel too, because I make a small commission at no cost to you by linking to their site. So I'm an affiliate influencer for Designs and Machine Embroidery. Just, full disclosure. I wouldn't steer y'all wrong. Okay, so I want to hoop, and okay, another dime. Designs and Machine Embroidery, they call it dime. This is one of their magnetic hoops. Okay, this is a little bitty one. And I'm going to float the quilt block in this hoop. So let's get it, let's get the stabilizer in there, shall we? Okay. I'm going to turn you guys so you can see what I'm doing. My big mess of a table here. All right. This is really pretty easy to do. Let me get my coffee over here so I don't knock it over. Put that away. This goes back. Big mess. All right. So I just take the top. I'm just going to lay it out on there like that. And then I just cut about an inch away. I just make sure I have enough or so, inch and a half. Okay. Don't throw away the little cardboard plastic, corrugated plastic that comes in here. Okay. So you just lay this over the top. Very, very simple. And then you're going to put your plastic on here about halfway. Okay. And then I'm going to put my hoop on. This is an 8x8. I put that on sideways. This needs to go. It's not an 8x8. There, that's how that goes. And I kind of feel and make sure it's on right. And then I pull. Okay. And I'm hooped. How easy was that? And now I'm going to take my block. All right. And I'm just going to put it on here. Let me turn it this way for my brain, because this is how it's going to go in with the arm over on my left. And I'm going to take some pins and pin it. Let me get my little sturdy quilting pins. This is called floating. And I'm going to pin it in all four corners. I don't want this to move at all, if possible. Now I'm going to have little berries right there. All right. Now, if you do not have an embroidery machine with a camera, then what you're going to want to do is print. You're going to want to create a target sticker to put where the berries need to go. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay, this looks pretty good. I'm going to do the sides. I'm going to pin the sides 2 times. Okay. Over on these. I don't want them pulling in during the tug. This stabilizer is heavy enough to withstand the tugging of the heavy satin stitch, my pins and everything. Everything's going to stay exactly where I want it. I would use my So Tights magnets on this, but it's too close to that metal plate under there. Do I have another yellow pin? No. Oh, here's one that'll work. No. I love these magic pins, but they're too weak to withstand this heavyweight cutaway. I need stronger pins. All right. Good. I use those for blocking, those magic pins. Somebody made that for me and sent it to me. Isn't that fabulous? I love that. Okay. So we're good to go now. If you do not have a camera system, this is a target sticker from Designs and Machine Embroidery. Okay. It has an arrow and a plus sign on it, so you can mark center. And you would put the center mark, the crosshair, exactly where you want it to go to put your little berry on there. This is going to make you a really good embroiderer, you guys. Going to make you a really good embroiderer. So what I would do is take the target sticker and fold it in half on the line, put it where you want it to go, okay, and then fold it back over so that your little berry is going to start right there. And you just need to know, HBI cutaway, I don't know. I got it off Amazon, y'all. I don't know. I have no idea what kind of cutaway that is. It's in my Amazon store, okay? In my Amazon store. When it comes to stabilizers, you guys, there's only, as I mentioned the other day, there's only so many manufacturers of stabilizers in the world. And so odds are a lot of them are coming from the same place. If I find some on Amazon, I'll get a cheap roll of it and see if it works. And if it does, I use it. And then I will put it in my Amazon store. So that's where I got that. I need another pen because here, yeah, these are too weak. I need stronger pens, and I need to turn you guys here where I need stronger pins. I didn't pin enough. Again, dealing with a satin stitch. Okay. Sorry. I didn't have enough of these quilting pins in my mushroom. My mushroom is that's where my pins are for ironing. Let's see, right down here. So I'm going to be putting two berries right there. All right. Now, if you do not have the ability to digitize on your embroidery machine, like I do, because I have a Brother Luminaire, then what you would use in this case, in the case of any buttons you put on, would be a punctuation mark. Most embroidery machines will have fonts installed in them. Okay, so you can use the period and resize it for a button or a nose or something like that. And you'd be surprised how well that works. Okay, this is good. We got a new person. Hi, Paula. Why don't I use tape or spray adhesive instead of pins? It won't hold that tight. You got to have pins if you're going to be doing heavy satin stitches. If I was doing just blanket stitches, spray adhesive would work fine. Yeah. Thank you, Marcia, for your super sticker. That's very thoughtful. I appreciate that. Okay. Cheap class, right, my friends? So this is seriously pinned on everywhere. All right. So now I'm ready to go ahead and do that. But so just because you don't have one of these fancy embroidery machines doesn't mean that you can't do what I'm doing. You just have to kind of think outside the box. So use a punctuation mark and it will work fine. I've been known to do that. So, okay. I'm going to, I don't want to recall the previous memory. I want to stitch some, I'm going to change my needle. I'm going to change my needle here. Okay. Now I've got a 9014 in here, Schmetz, because I didn't have a 9014. I did, for those of you that were here last week and we had the disaster, I did go ahead and restitch that heart, the outside of the heart around the Designs by Juju Valentine heart. And I used a 9014 needle and it worked perfectly. No drama at all. What'd I do? Here they are. So these are 9014s too. But I'm going to put on the 7511. It says in this case that 9014 might be a little heavy for the quilting cotton, okay, without heat and bond light on the back of it, right? Okay. Here's the needle from before, and it was pretty much brand new because we traded it out. All righty. Let me put my foot down to give me some room. Put this on. But if you've got a Luminaire or a Stellaire or the Baby Lock equivalent, then this is how you do that. Okay. The Stellaire, you've got to use that hoop that's got the marks on it so it knows what it's looking at. All right. Put up. And I need to change my thread color. Okie doke. Let me use this pretty red right here. Where do I buy my dime hoops? I either get them from dealers or directly from Designs and Machine Embroidery. Okay. If Dime does a Hoopalooza sale once a year, I'll get one, and then I just kind of build my little arsenal during that sale. I'll get one, and I just, over the years, I have just bought one at a time. So, okay. Yeah, whoever has them on sale. There's a lot of different dealers for Designs and Machine Embroidery products. Okay. Awesome. Hey, I want to let you guys know, I see this all the time. If you're going to use your machine, an embroidery machine, and you have a combo, don't forget to change your foot. There is a specific foot just for embroidery. You don't use the standard presser foot. So just FYI, it matters. Okay, just so y'all know. It does. Oh, wrong way. It does matter. Okay, so let's make sure I can get this embroidered properly. Now, what I'm going to do with this machine, again, if you don't have a camera in your machine, you're going to want to, like it says, if it says do 3/8" buttons, then you want to get your little dot, whatever you're going to use, up to a 3/8" size. Okay, on your, get it as large as you can. You can do that. And then just stitch it on. So, but the big thing is to use a stabilizer that can withstand that heavy zigzag satin stitch. I want to go to embroidery, and I'm not going to use the pocket for memory or anything. I actually want to go to, how do I want to do this? Do I want to do my design center? It's probably going to be easier to use font. I didn't practice. Here we go. We'll go to my design center. I'll get in here so you guys can see who's got Design Center and IQ Design. Okay. If you've got Design Center or IQ Design, you have a brother or baby lot. If you don't have a brother or baby lot, you guys will have different machines that will have the same capability. If you've got a high-end FOF or Janome, you'll have the same capability. You just kind of got to figure that out. I have no clue how to work those machines. Oh, thanks for my hair. I love the haircut, I swear. So the first thing I want to do is I need to create a shape, and I'm going to go I want to create a shape. So I'm going to hit my shapes button. And what kind of shape? I want to make a circle, because that's going to be my holly berry, and tell it okay. Now I need to change the size. Okay, so think about, yeah, IQ Designer is a baby lock, right? So think about, the buttons are identical to what I'm doing right here, okay? So think about how a computer thinks. I know that's hard, but the first thing you have to tell the computer is, what is it you are going to embroider? I'm going to embroider a shape, so I had to give it a shape. Now, how big is that shape? I can't tell it how big before I tell it what, right? So the first what is a shape, and that's a circle. And then how big, I'm going to touch the size button. And this says 6.42 by 6.42. That's way too big. So I've got a little keypad up here. I'm going to touch that. And I'm going to say 0. What's a 3/8" button? A little bit smaller than a half. Little bit larger than a quarter. Let's go 0.35 set. And the other one is 0.35 set. All right. So if I go up to my magnification to 800, there it is. There's my little button. 3.75 is the decimal. Okay. I'm good with this. 3.75 is the decimal. All right. So I can go into size, and I'll go to my keyboard again, what did you say? 0.375. It won't let me do that. I have to go 0. Probably 3.7. I did 3.5. Will it do 5? No. 0.37 set, a little bit bigger. And the next one, it automatically went there, 0.37 set. Okay, perfect. Tell it okay. Now, so what is the first question you have to answer? What am I going to stitch? I'm going to stitch a circle. Now, how big is it? What are the properties of that circle? I want it to be this size. Okay, now what do I want inside the circle? I want it to be a fill. I need to find the stitch for the fill. Okay. So this right up here, this section is outlines. And this right down here, this section is fills. Not the eraser of the shape. It's just this one. So I'm going to go here. And is that right what I want to do? If I hit the red, that's for color. Tell it, no, that's not what I want to do. Again, let me just do this. I'm going to touch the zig. Let me touch this zigzag up here. I want it to be a satin fill. Touch the zigzag. Tell it okay. Take the paint bucket in the fill section and tap the center of the circle, and it filled it. That's how you do that. Okay. So let me go back. I'm going to hit the undo. What I told y'all was wrong. Okay. So this is outline and fills. And then we've got, this is a stitch selector, and this is where you get what you're going to do with it. You can paint with it or dump or eyedropper or whatever. So I'm going to touch the zigzag, the stitch type, make sure it is a satin, tell it okay. Touch the paint bucket and dump the paint bucket into the fill. So there we go. Practice stitch. Nah, Charlene, I live on the edge. It's fine. There are those who practice and those who wish they did, right? Those who test. I'm going to tell it next, and it's going to digitize it. So now it wants to know density and all of this. I'm just going to leave it. It's talking about things of embroidery that I know nothing about, so I'm going to trust the machine. If you do not have one of these machines, please do a no-sew on the, what? Do a no-sew on the big circle? Is that what you want me to do? Let me go back. A no-sew on the big circle? I don't see that. Let me see. I don't understand. I should practice one. You guys are saying do it. Top selection is line properties and the other is for fill. Right. I thought that. So let me hit next. Let's get bigger. So this is what she was talking about, the line properties on the outside of that. Y'all know a lot more about this than I do. I'm not real sure how to do that. See, I should practice, right? Because that's going to do so. That would almost look like a button. You need to do a no-sew, which is the red line through the stitches. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. Let me set this. Tell it okay. This is what they're talking about. Can you see? Whoop, can you see that? That's what digitized in this machine. So on the red, that's what, let me hit this. Let me go into edit. And hold on a second here. Let me go back. So out of edit. So we have the red, which is the fill, and we have, this is the line around the outside. They're saying to do a no-sew on, right? It's going to do a no-sew. Yeah, I don't want to add a second circle to outline. Pray and practice. Love it, Debbie. Okay. So on this, on the black right here around there, I don't want that to sew. And there is a way to do this, but I don't do this enough. So let me go into embroidery and layout. And on the rotate, does it do that? Nope. Or I could just not stitch that black one. That's what I can do. I'll just stitch the first one and not the second one, right? There is a way to do a no-sew. What button am I missing? Just don't sew the black. That's the idea. That's the idea. Yep. I'll go into edit. And here's the no-sew button. Let's see. So that's what I did. Let me show you guys again. So when you're in this edit menu, back out, so you guys can see. Okay. Stitch a test somewhere on the stabilizer. I will. You guys settle down. So here's the no sew button. I'm going to touch no sew. All right. I'm going to touch the black and I'm going to hit no sew and tell it okay. So let's get bigger. That's what it's going to look like. And that's fine. I knew I could do that. Let me hit embroidery. Okay. So here we go. Let's do a test stitch. I'm going to hit my camera and I'm going to scan it and tell it okay. Yeah, you guys got to go with me through the process. This is how we do. I'm going to practice. Y'all chill out. I'm going to stitch it up top. Okay, so it has taken a picture of what it sees. All right, I'm going to tell it close. And where that plus sign is where it's going to stitch. So let me go into layout. And I'm just going to hit the rotate button. And let me move this way, way up. Right there. Let's see how it looks. Okay. There we go. Does your Meridian have this? I don't know. It should, with the exception of the camera. It should. I don't know if the Meridian has a camera or not. There's a no-sew button? Yes. What do you guys think of that size? Is that cute for holly berries? What do you think of that? I think that'll look fine. Now look at the tugging. Not too bad. Okay. What do you think? I apologize for poking around. I think that berry, is that the right size, or maybe just the Meridian has a camera? Yeah, I think it's too big too. All right, no problem. So we'll go through the process one more time because I didn't save it. I can't go back and edit it, but it's no big deal. Measure with the ruler. There's that. It looks a little too big, doesn't it? 3/8 inch button. It is 3/8. Is that what it says is a 3/8 button? Let me double check. Attach buttons. It says to attach buttons up here. But this uses, what does it say? Not in here. I got to go back to the front of the book where it's going to tell me what's what and what to use in here for things that I need. Oh, cute little buttons number 1, 2, and 3. Well, how big are those? I don't know, but I think that's a little bit big. Okay. Meridian does not have a camera, only IQ Designer. Okay. So is that kind of like this Stellaire then? Okay. So one thing I can do, since I have made this already, all right, let me go into rotate. No, that doesn't work. Can I edit the size? I cannot. Let me return. And let's go to size. And let's bring it in. It looks like it's at 0.44. It didn't keep what I said. So let's bring it in. 0.39 is as small as I can get it. That's a 1/4 inch. Is that what that is, Dave? So 0.39. Let's do it again. and see if this is a better size. There are those who test and those who wish they did. Yep. All right. Tell it okay. I'm going to go to move, and let's move it over. Oh, that's in the wrong layout. Move it over. All right, let's do it again. You guys can see what I'm doing here. Let's do a smaller one. My thread is not behaving. Once again, that's that 7511 needle. I'm tired of fiddling with this, y'all. Tired of it. All right. So just because the compass said 7511, let's change it. I'm going to go to a 9014. Again, dense stitching. Right here. This is the first time I've seen these in these little foil packets. Never seen that. You use an 8912. I don't have any of those. It's one or the other. Go back and make it 0.25. I can always enlarge. Yeah. Could. Okay. I'm not going to get frustrated today. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. You guys tell yourself that? I'm not going to get frustrated. It's not going to happen. Y'all, it was so funny. I came out last Thursday with my hair on fire when we got done with Embroidery Thursday. I told my husband, it was so bad. Let me go to needle plus minus and hit the 0 and start again. Okay. Let's stitch. This will be a little bit smaller. It was good. You learned a lot. Yeah, you learned what not to do. Okay. I like this. I like it a lot. Let's look. Okay. That's a much better scale. And I think it'll look just great right here. But those 3 pretty holly berries. And 2 right there and 3 right there. Right? Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's do this. Go okay. And touch the layout button. I'm going to put it into memory. All right, let's watch. Let's see. I'll show you guys what I'm up to here. So I'm going to put this into memory. Where do I want to store it? On the machine, on a USB, on a chip, or in, wirelessly somewhere else. I could send it to the scan and cut, whatever. I'm going to hit save it in the machine. So that's what I want. Okay. All right. I'm going to return. Now, I'm going to scan again. And it's going to scan this whole thing and take a picture of what it sees. Okay. Yeah, I know you would have had the buttons sewn on by now. That's not the point. That is not the point. The point is to get savvy with your embroidery machine. All right. Here's what we have. Once you get savvy with your embroidery machine, I got a little stylus. Let's see if I can do this. All right. I'm going to take this. Let me close this. Now, I have a copy paste button right here. Okay. Let me grab this. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Let's get bigger. And let me grab this. Come on. I'm going to put these right where I want them. This is the whole point of this fancy machine. I'm going to put these exactly where I want them. And it may or may not be as they show in the pattern, right? There. Move down, move over, move down, right there. And another one. So this is why you guys want these fancy machines. They are so cool to play with. Okay, I want one right here. This is so much fun to me. I would rather do this all day long than doink around with sewing on a button. And this one, I need to move it just a tiny bit. No, I'm going to move that one over. Move. I'm going to nudge it. One more. There we go. Okay. Put that one right there. And this one right here. And then this one right here. Okay. And then this one, is that the original? No. Okay. Well, I'll play with that. If it wants to stitch it again, I'll stop it and jump forward. So that shows me where my little berries are going to be. So while I've got this touched, I'm going to move it and nudge it down a little bit. And I like that. Those three look great. Those two are evenly on each side of the seam. And these three, maybe that one, I'll nudge it a little closer. What do you guys think? I don't want that on the seam. I want that over. The beauty of Brother Machines and Baby Lock is that their camera accuracy is top notch in the industry. There's one thing to be able to scan a camera and another thing to be able to get it to stitch where you thought it was going to stitch. What do y'all think of that? Let me get you in. What do you think? Are we liking it? I like it. Yeah, that would be so nice for Callie. Yeah, she gets this machine when I die. I shouldn't space them perfectly even. Well, Bernadette, that's all right. That's fine. Okay. I'm good with this. Y'all good with this? Looks great. Thank y'all. Okay. So let's roll and see how it goes. Like I said, the whole point is to, let me go into my do not stitch. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, now let's go to embroidery. And I'm going to hit the needle plus minus button. And I'm going to go +1 and see where it goes. It went right to where I wanted it to start. So we're ready. I was wondering if it was going to come back up here. And it didn't. I'm going to tell it okay. All right. Darla, do your thing, girl. Do it. Do it. Work it. This is so fun. I don't know why they do those heavy around the edge stitches. Oh, it's beautiful. Let's see. I could also run the stitch simulator to find out where it's going to stitch. Yeah, I know I could. Then I'd have to doink around with that. You're feeling encouraged to try more things. That's the point, Vicky. Yay. Y'all get out your embroidery machines. And so that didn't trim for whatever reason. Get out your embroidery machines and play with them. See, you just got to poke around like I do. Oh, it unthreaded. So what she said, by the time you did your machine will be so outdated and she'll need a newer machine. I know. By the time I know. That's okay. She'll work it out. Yeah, 20 years from now, who knows what embroidery machines will be like 20 years from now, y'all. Okay, so when you start again somewhere on something like this, you don't have to count your stitches back or anything. Y'all, that's looking great. It's not puckering at all. You can just go back to 0. So use your needle plus minus. Okay. And just hit 0 and tell it okay. That's the beginning of that stitch on this particular. Uh-oh, not that one. Nope. I told y'all wrong. Needle plus minus. Plus 100. Plus 100. I thought it was starting all over. There. Oh, it was doing a thread color stop. My bad. All right. That's a thread color stop it's doing. Oh, that's pretty. I handle like a professional. Well, Gordon, you know, you just poke around and do your best. This is what happens in our sewing room. And this is the way you go about it. You know, you just go, well, let me doink around with it, see what I can do. I don't know who's calling me from Poth, but I don't want to talk to him. All right. Those 2 holly berries underneath the center candle stitched exactly where I told them to. And I told them to stitch them in the wrong place. But it's fine. I don't care. I could pick it out if I want. I'm not going to. I say that. I might. I don't know. What thread is in the bobbin? It is a Designs and Machine Embroidery pre-wound. These. Style 8, class 15. A tube will last you for years. They're about 35 bucks. Best money spent. They work great. And the last one. You've been trying to learn more about your connection with the luminaire and the scan and cut. That is called my connection, is what it is. Should my embroidery foot make contact with the fabric? No, it's not. No, it should glide over the fabric. You don't want it too high. Add 1 more berry to the middle group. That's a good idea. That's a great idea. That would look great, wouldn't it? Let me tell it okay. I like the idea of another berry in the middle group, but I'll think about that. All right, so let's see what we've got. Okay. Okay, that's stabilizer that I have Carolyn's in my Amazon shop. It's not on Dime. Now, we talked about stabilizers, all right? And sometimes you cannot take things at face value. All right. So the dime thing said to use a tearaway. I wanted something super, super heavy because I don't want to have any kind of puckering in my block. And there is no puckering in my block. Zero. So this is what you've got to think about. I could put it, so this berry is off center. That's where I told it to. It did it accurately. I told it wrong. I should have made it as big as possible and fiddle with it. But I could put another one like right there on top of that in the middle of those. I've got a heavy seam right there. I don't care. It's fine. It's going to look amazing. Yeah, the two berries look weird. Thanks, Anne. I know. Well, that's how they have it in the book, but I am going to put a third berry. I might even put it up on top of the red candle to make it look like it's overlapping a little bit. That would look good, wouldn't it? So that's a good stitch on the back. You should always inspect the back and make sure it is good. There's where that thread break happened right there, but you should see mostly, you should see a little bit of top thread around the outside, and you should see mostly the bobbin thread. Okay. Do I reuse my pre-wound bobbin after it's empty? No, ma'am. They are not designed for that. That plastic is fragile and crappy. Don't reuse those. Odd numbers. I know. I know what you're saying, ET. I got you. I will. I'll put that. I think it'll look good, like nestled up on the top. Anyway. So think about how is it now? I'm going to trim away the stabilizer from the back. All right. We're here. What is the class for the quilt? This quilt every day. I don't have a class for this quilt. No, I don't have a class for this quilt. I'm just doing this quilt, showing you guys my progress. I'm not doing a how-to on this one. So let me do that little, I need to put another berry in, and then I'm going to, I'm going to put another berry in. All right, I need to return, and I need to delete that berry. Is that right? Delete selected. Okay. Delete. Okay. Delete. Okay. It's going through and deleting each one of those color stops. I've got one left. All right, let's scan it. All right, do your thing again there. Take a picture of what you see. Fat Quarter Shop doing videos for Vintage Christmas. No, nobody is, Linda, that I'm aware of. Put the berry on the green or contrasting colored fabric. All right, let's get in here and take a look of where we want to put the berry. All right. Let's see where we want to put the berry. Well, where's the berry? Where'd it go? Let me go to embroidery. I'm like, where's the berry? Layout. Okay. I can't see where that's at. It's going to look weird if I put it on the green. Oh, I see it. I see it. I'm thinking, can you guys see it? I'm thinking I'm going to put it up on the red. It's right there, and I want to bring it down. I want to get the zoom in so you guys can see. But I can't. I can see it better on the screen of the camera than I can see it better on the machine. Oh, too big. Blur, blur, back out, right there. I can see it upper left of the candle. Yeah, okay. So I can see it like right in there. It looks like it's going to stitch. I'm looking at my laptop. I can see it better. What do you guys think about overlapping the berries? That one does look, it does look weird, doesn't it? I just can't see that close. I'm gonna have to play with it a little bit. I can't see it. I don't have a get bigger up here in the corner. So maybe down in the corner like it fell off. I like the idea of the overlap there. I'm going to go ahead and put it on. And I don't know. I'll have to play with that. Yeah. I think they'll overlap a little and look good too. Overlap. And then Sherry says, don't do it. If I don't do it, they look off center and I'd have to cut it out and do it again, which I could do. But I don't know if I want to. No overlap. All right. So you guys, here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and take this out, show you guys what it looks like. Oh. All right. So let's get rid of the pins. See how I did the pinning? So today we talked about pinning, choosing stabilizers that are going to work. The three of them look good. It was my poor decision making on those operator error. The camera was perfect. All right, so let me take this up. And now the way you do this, let me show you how you do cutaway and the scissors. The scissors you use for removing stabilizer from the back are the duckbill. The duckbill are designed specifically to cut away stabilizer from a project. When you cut stabilizer away, always, 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 foot stomp always, hold the project in your hand with the stabilizer drooping down. You want your hand up here, okay? And the idea is to put the duckbill next to the fabric so that it will not cut your project. You never put that other piece next to the fabric. You want the duckbill next to the fabric. And that fabric is being pulled up and out of the way. That's how I do it. I don't know. See, if I do it like this, I can cut it. Don't do that. And this helps you to keep the hand of the block pretty much the way you wanted it. And you can go in there with some snips now and very carefully cut away that other fabric from the back if you want. So now you can go in with your curved scissors. And if you can cut the tails, but don't cut the knots, okay? But that's what duckbill scissors are for. I don't know how or why people use duckbills for anything other than that. It's kind of weird to me. There. So that protects your project. Okay. So the idea is that these two should have been over just a little bit and they would have been perfect. They look funny. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. If I want to restitch them, I think I'll tear them out and do them again and do that. So play with your embroidery machine. I would rather do this all day long than sew a button. I swear. It's not about how fast it is. It's about playing with my embroidery machine. So, all right, you guys, this has been fun. I've had a good time. I do not leave the rest of this. Oh, that rest of that stabilizer that's in there, leave it alone. It'll be fine. What do I do with it? That's not going to change your block at all. And this will withstand washings for the life of the quilt, okay, with that particular stabilizer in it. If you used a tearaway, all right, that tearaway will disintegrate in the wash. And eventually there will be nothing behind those stitches to hold them together. And over time, like in, you know, they will pucker and it'll all fall apart. So I think it looks fine. I'll put those berries somewhere else when the final quilt, but that turned out just beautiful. No puckering. That was the whole point of the lesson, was no puckering. I love it. I don't know if I'm going to take those out or not. We'll see about my energy level. So, all right, you guys, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining me. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and be back tomorrow. It's Giveaway Friday, and we're going to have a good time tomorrow. So sometimes I don't have the right color. I know. All right, you guys, thank you so much for bringing me into your home. And if you're new, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. I love all you guys. We will see you tomorrow. Go sew something. Bye.